Is everybody always saving for school? Sometimes I'm like, I'm supposed to give this money to them one day for them to start a business.
Exactly.
With my family and focusing on the kids.
Oh,
and stuff.
sorry. Is that the baby? Yeah. 1 second. Yeah, we have to definitely do this before Jackson, Atlas, and us end.
Absolutely.
It would be
We'd have to just work them into the trip.
we'd have to end.
You start.
No, you start.
No, I had
You
no
had the
clue where to
starter.
start.
You had the starter.
Me start.
You start.
I am guilty of sometimes focusing so much on like paying the bills and providing for family that it creates a little imbalance in the time that I have to dedicate to them
Yeah.
and nurturing and fostering the relationships.
I feel the same way
with
too.
them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that a lot of people feel. And you know, we can get so tied up in wanting to provide for our families that it's easy to lose out and miss out on the moments that really matter. You know, it's the same way how sometimes we get so busy focusing on putting food on the table, paying the bills, because we know that that is, it's hard, that we also forget how important it is to put aside for our children.
Yeah.
And sometimes that gets left behind. It's like the last thing anybody really thinks about, you know?
Yeah. I mean, even on my side, like what we started to impart now in them, budgeting and that's even Geo.
Yeah.
We're actively doing that now with Geo as an 18-year-old. We
It's
have
crazy.
like created a account for him and we are teaching him how to budget and how to not just spend,
Yes.
but save.
Yes.
You know, it's
and
important.
treating it as a line item, you
Yeah.
know. So yes, this is what you spend on X, Y, and Z, and da. But also, this is what you have to think about putting aside as well for something that you want. Or you know, it's not just about big ticket items either. And I think a lot of people also feel intimidated, like they feel like, you know, I can't do that now at this stage where I am, or it's too much to think about it. And they might even look at us and think, oh, they're fine, they've been doing this for years. But it's not something that we've been doing this whole time. And it's something that just in the last couple of years, we started to get, okay, we really need to start thinking about this seriously. So, you know, sometimes we look at other people and think they have it all together and they don't have it all together. But it was so important to us to try and change how we do things versus maybe even how our parents did things. And try to create a new narrative and realize that, you know, this is a part of how we are going to show our love to our children, is to try and set up a future.
So true. Even when we opened the VM accounts, that was one of the big things that we wanted to let them know, that we are doing this to secure them, to secure their future, and to give them some insight into financial planning. And
if these accounts have their names on it. which is-
exactly. It's not our names, it's their names. So they can understand that, listen, I have a bank account for myself.
Yes.
And it's never too early, or it's never too early to start saving.
Yeah, it's also never too late, right? So for us, again, like I said, it means that we may not have started right at the beginning at the most opportune time, but we started, which is so important. But also, I think, you know, what financial planning means for our family too is, yes, putting aside for our children, us doing that as their parents, but also teaching them, which is why I love that these accounts have their names on it, that this is also yours, and you have to decide how you're going to be handling this in particular. You know, so like Jackson, for example, he wants a particular game or device come Christmas. He knows that he has to save a little bit here from the lunch money, this from the chores money, that from the birthday money, and it can all come together come Christmas. He can see grow like a piggy bank. This is a new piggy bank, you know, and be like, well, this is what I'm working toward, that goal mindset as well.
Exactly.
You know?
And just like how we set our big goals for ourselves, they are setting their short-term goals.
And it's big goals for them as well.
It teaches them the wisdom and make them understand. As young as Atlas is, he is a man that if you give him $1,000, him already is budgeting out how I'm going to deal with it, which sweet him going buy. That's all them think about now, but it's still them understanding the value of money and how it can reach, and when it's done, and I can't get nothing else.
And I think most importantly, like giving them that mindset to save, to put aside, to put up, not to just reach for goals, but for rainy days as well, you know? And we're actively doing that with Gia again. We have to emphasize it because he is now at a different, he's driving now. So it's not just sweetie money for him again. It's gas, it's clothes, it's going out, it's entertainment, and of course the big S, saving. But always try to make him know it's not about what come out in, is what you can hold for rainy day. I know, I hear it. You're joking about the guys earlier with the who wants sweetie and who want this and them being so different. I think something that's important too, and something we see already, is not all of our kids may want to go the route of going to college or university. Some might have an entrepreneurial spirit and want to start a business. And we can already kind of see how that is playing out even in our family already. And it's so important to know that, you know, it's not just about saving for school. Yes, if that is where it ends up for your child, then yes, but it could also be saving for our first business, or something like that, you know. And I think it's important to highlight that not everybody goes down the same route. And so who knows what you're saving for in that essence, but it's for their future and to set them up.
So at the end of the day, it's important that we strike the right balance with work and family, and make sure that we're intentionally setting the foundation, right, that our family needs and deserves, so nobody gets left behind.
Yeah, that's so important. And even us being able to, you know, implement these things from now, and even helping them to understand what it looks like to save, what it looks like to budget, what it looks like to put up for a rainy day or for a future event, whatever that might be. It then gives them an idea of what maybe they will do for their families one day, because now we've created a whole new cycle. And I love that for them. I love that for us.